All right, guys, another very, very awesome game. Still in the works, but you should totally keep an eye out for Text Quest. This game is really cool. It's like a first-person texting, typing tool, adventure RPG. It's a lot of things, guys. And I'm here with the creator of the game, Chris.
Hello, I'm Chris Ingerson, and I am the creator of Text Quest.
So first off, how did the idea of Text Quest come about? Why not make just a regular RPG?
So back when I was in college, I was part of a student game development group, and we always used to say, well, we have great artists, but they can't keep up with demand. So what type of game could we make that doesn't require artists? Text-based adventure. And we joked about that for years, so we just never really did it. And then when I was like, okay, let's actually try this. How do we make this interesting? We couldn't really think of a way, so I was talking with some coworkers at lunch one day, hashed out this idea of like a 2D text adventure world, then we eventually got into like a 3D world where everything is text. So I went home, that was a Friday, I went home, game jammed a prototype in 2 days, and then I pitched it to the student game development group on Monday. Because this is an idea that doesn't really work on paper. It only works when you see it. And from there, I've just been working on it myself.
And this is a one-man project. This is all you.
Yeah, I'm doing all the art, programming, sound design, writing, everything. It's on top of a full-time job too, so it takes me a while.
And you said you've been working on this game for how long so far?
A little over 4 years now.
4 years. So this is your baby now. Like you want to see this succeed for sure.
Oh, definitely.
So at the convention, you actually have a mirrored display, so you can see people playing your game. Like, what are some of the reactions people have been getting? Because there's lots of different ways people can actually play Text Quest. There's no straight one answer to everything.
Right. No, I do that partially because it lets me see any creative use of words that people come up with. Like, for example, for the longest time, you could only open doors by doing things, mundane things like open door. But after a while, enough people kept trying to kick open door that now you can just kick open doors, and it's just a small touch that lets people have fun. And that's actually what I go for. Is I want to have that look on people's face where they'll type something in thinking that they're smarter than the parser, and then it understands what they wanted to do, and their face lights up and they're like, oh, that's so amazing. And it's a great feeling to see that.
What is the feeling that you wanted to get across with the imagery of this game? Since it's all text, you pretty much want the imagination of the player to pretty much flow and go with what you're pretty much. They're seeing the words and they're connecting the words to what's happening.
So it's kind of a nice thing about it is that it helps preserve the original text adventure aspect of your imagination, because you have a rough idea of what things look like, their shape, but it just says they're what they are. So you still have to use your imagination a little. When you see the wizard, all you know is it's a wizard and he has a beard. That's it.
And he can look however you want him to.
You can look at it however you want him to be. The only thing that's definite about him is that he's a wizard and he has a beard.
The combat system is really interesting because it kind of becomes like one of those typing games that I would play when I was a kid, learning how to type for the first time, where it's quick time events with stuff like that. So what made you want to use that as a combat system?
So for a long time, I really wanted to have combat. I want to make the logical extreme of a text adventure. So like everything's text-based, the statics are text-based, the mechanics are text-based, the combat's text-based. And I was thinking, okay, how do I do that? And then I remembered, oh yeah, there's a game called Typing of the Dead. So I went back and I played through Typing of the Dead. I took a lot of inspiration from that. And that's why you have stuff like building your combos. I'm actually in the middle of a combat system refactor that makes it a lot more like that. So you'll be choosing paths and risk-reward paths through combat to get closer to the enemy and then end with a massive combo blow. It's going to be, pretty cool.
And also I love how this game is like coding for dummies. It's literally, instead of having to do a whole bunch of intricate symbols and stuff like that, it's literally just add a verb and then you'll do that thing with whatever you want. So you're pretty much like helping guide the player to help them figure out the actions and stuff like that. I think that's really clever.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to mess with, just because the text-based genre is so old now that a lot of younger players actually have never really done this before. So I'm trying to update that genre so that it's a lot less obtuse, for lack of a better word, a lot more approachable. And what my goal there is I want the parser to be smart enough to understand what you want to do. So when you type things like take scepter, that should pick up the scepter, obviously, but also pick up scepter or pick scepter up. And it's an idea of trying to get people to have fun with something that they might not have experienced before, just because, there aren't a lot of games that actually have you input text into something to figure out what you want to do. It's just a fun little thing to mess around with. keeps things light.
So yeah, this game is really awesome. You said you're still a ways away from this game being released, but what will it be on when it comes out?
So it'll be on Mac, PC, and Linux. Unfortunately, there's no console that this would work on.
There's literally no way.
The only one that would have worked was the Wii U, and sadly, that's obviously gone.
We don't talk about that.
But it'll be on Steam. It's already gone through the greenlight process back when that was a thing. And I'm looking at itch.io, good old games. As I get closer to release, I'll be talking with them. But yeah, those are the main platforms, PC, Mac, and Linux.
Awesome. Is this game going to be going on the road to any other conventions anytime soon with the rest of 2018?
So 3 weeks from now, I'll be at Indy PopCon down in Indianapolis. That's actually where I live, so it's a really easy con for me to go to. And then later on, I have, Pixel Pop over in St. Louis and GDEX over in Ohio. And I think that's all I have planned right now. There might be more stuff that pops up, but those are the big ones that I can think of.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris, for giving us some information on Text Quest. I'm going to keep an eye out for this one. Really fun game.